We respectfully request the great virtue Sangha, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh. Tinh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Namo Saranto Suchedo Ye Alahudi San Miao Taputo Xie. Namo Taktakta To Yada Ya Alahade Tampio Tambo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu sheng 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 wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Jingliang, Venerable YongHua, Venerable Left-Home People, and all good advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư, Hòa thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Okay, today is the 16th of October 2021. We are here to continue discussing the prologue to the Avatamsaka Sutra, prepared by Master Jingliang. We are on slide 309, when we're picking off where we left off the last time, where the text says that Buddhas come to the world only for one thing, and that's from the Lotus Sutra. Lotus Sutra specifically says that all Buddhas come to the world for only one great matter. The one, only one great matter. Okay, and this is different. This is the only one. Okay. That's different. Never mind. Okay, never mind. It's not about Lotus Sutra. It's about all living beings possess it equally. So it says only one here refers to your Buddha nature. All living beings share the same thing. The only thing, the one thing that exists in the universe, that's called the Buddha nature. That includes everything. That's why only one. This Buddha nature here encompasses the entire universe, encompasses everything you can think of. Okay? So we're all included in there. You're all part of the same organism, as you will. You're not different. On the surface, we're different, but we're all part of this thing called the Buddha nature. Okay? And we're in work in progress. We all eventually, from the state of being a living being, okay, we will eventually return to our original form, that is the Buddha nature. All right, next, 310. 10 to benefit the present and the future. Since each equally has a share, the benefits are vast and boundless.
10历经后者，即等有其分，故广利无边。
All right, 311. The 10th reason for the Buddha to speak this sutra, this great sutra, the supreme wisdom of all Buddhas, the greatest wisdom of the entire universe, is in order to benefit the present and the future. Okay? All has equally has a share. We are here and we part this Buddha nature, so we are the present. Okay? And the Buddha, when he spoke the sutra 3,000 years ago, that's for the people, the present people back then. And now we are listening to this, learning about this particular Dharma door, so we are the future of the past, but we are the present of right now. Okay? And so the Buddha Dharma is forward-looking. We take care of the people now, okay, and make provisions to take care of the people in the future, okay, because we all are qualified to become a Buddha, okay, and do not allow anyone to convince you're anything less than a Buddha yourself. Okay, and these and being a Buddha has tremendous benefits. They're vast and boundless. Okay, all right. Don't be confused by your limited thinking mind. This particular sutra here, function, is to help you break out of your own self-imposed limitations, because your mind, your thinking mind, is so limited. That's why you yourself are stopping yourself from preventing yourself from achieving this infinite type of benefits that you're able to access. But it's your thinking mind that stops you from doing that. So this sutra here is very important. Its function is to make sure that we stop limiting yourself. We stop limiting ourselves. Okay? That's the only sutra I know of that specifically spells out. It says, stop limiting yourself. Your goals are too small. Whatever you think is so important in terms of fame and profit are way too small. Okay? You have a lot more than that. And yet you restrict yourself to this small thing. That's all. And you are the culprit. No one else. No one can limit you but yourself. You are the only person who can limit yourself. Okay? So the Buddha spoke the sutra to remind all of us that. Okay? That includes, by the way, enlightened people as well. The Chandama door says, I will teach you to become enlightened. But it doesn't say, it doesn't spell out exactly that stop limiting yourself. you are inherently, because your nature, okay, including for enlightened people, you are limiting yourself. That's the only sutra where it speaks of this very loudly. Stop it. Okay? You settling for the small. 312. This is also of two kinds. One, benefit to the present, that is the potentials contemporary with the Buddha.
一此二种：一、历经，即佛在当机。
For this particular commentary 313 on the cause and condition to benefit the present and the future, it divides into two parts, two kinds. Benefit the present, that is the potential contemporary with the Buddha. Okay, potential is a particularly Mahayana concept. Your potentials, okay, are underutilized. Okay, all of you, all of us, we are underutilizing our own potential. Ji, that's a Chinese word, is ji. Okay, and we translate that as potentials. Your capacity, okay, are limitless. Your capacity, your real capacity is as limitless as the Buddha, as limitless as this universe. The universe is infinite. That's you. Okay, and so the first attempt is to benefit the ones that the Buddha have a direct condition, direct rapport with these people. He can see, can talk, and share time with, share a meal with them. So this is the nature of the teaching. You teach people, teaching people requires you to be there. Okay? So there's no substitute for that. You need to look at person, in the eyes, and they need to hear you. Okay. Now in the modern times we have the teleconferencing, internet as a substitute, but still is not 100% as effective. Okay, because it's distance. There is the presence that is not the same as if you were physically there. Okay? In fact, for the teachers, let me tell you a tip. Okay? Why is that some of you have respect for some teachers and not for some others? Especially the Koreans. The Koreans are very judgmental. He says, the teacher, I don't like. The teacher, I like. The teacher, no good. Teacher, pretty good. Why? It's not just Koreans. Vietnamese too. But the Vietnamese not in the same thing. Vietnamese inherently, for the Vietnamese, no teacher is any good. Okay? And the Chinese, how are the Chinese different? The Chinese, the teacher is the good one, the one who has a lot of followers. Okay? What about the Americans? Who is a good teacher? Who else? Dalai Lama. Thank you. Okay? So, why is that you believe one teacher and not the other? Yes, number 5.
Master, for me, I like the teachers that have enthusiasm for the material. There's other teachers that they know the material, but their presentation of it is very dry, and I don't like that. So that's how I end up liking certain teachers versus others.
Okay, so for this particular gentleman from Canada, he needs to be entertained. Okay, if the materials, the presentation is not entertaining enough, he'd rather go see movies. Okay, we got that. Anyone else? Absolutely, skills, delivery skills. This is why it is also true in Buddhism. In Buddhism, in a morning ceremony, towards the end of the morning ceremony, you recite a mantra called the Good Goddess mantra. Namo Photo, Namo Dhammo, Namo Sanje. Remember? Okay? That's the mantra that will help you develop your eloquence. You see that? Master YongHua, when he designed the morning ceremony, he thought of everything. He says, in the future, my boys and girls will have eloquence when they speak the Dharma. Okay? So that's why every day we recite this mantra 3 times. Namo Photo, Namo Dhammo. Okay? So you keep on reciting that, you will be able to speak Dharma with eloquence. Okay? Eloquence means that the people like the Cantonese Canadians will have delight in listening to it. All right? What else? Why would you prefer the teacher versus not the others? Yes, number 9.
Master, I think I have to feel a connection that I can understand.
Yes, very good. It has to be in English for this lady here. If you speak to her in Korean, forget it. She's not interested. Okay? And the translation has to be pretty good too. Pressure. All right. Anyone else? Very good. Q&A.
The teacher's samadhi level is important.
Why?
I think that's why some teachers would be more impressive than others. Sorry, that's a not great word for this, but yeah.
Yeah. As the Chinese, not only do they like famous teachers, but they need to be impressed as well. Okay, I'm hearing her. Anyone else? Q&A.
No, I don't know.
That's it? Okay, very good. It's all correct, okay? This is why, first of all, eloquence or delivery skills is important. That's why we, boys and girls, eventually you need to, like Master YongHua set up the system, you need to investigate a sutra, okay? That's a very good practice. You pick a sutra you like, and you research it, and then as I'm still alive, practice lecturing it so that I can teach you and correct you. Okay, I highly recommend that, by the way. Okay, so that's one thing, because you will improve upon your Dharma speaking skills. It will hone your skills, and it takes time for that to happen. Okay. So even though you recite these mantras and practice chants and so forth, you still need practice. You need, first of all, the knowledge of the materials. Therefore, you need to do your homework, do your research, read up on the other patriarchs' explanation. If they're not a patriarch, don't bother. Okay, I'm adamant about this. You read something, explanation from a person who's not a patriarch, you're wasting time, in my opinion, okay? You don't know which part is right, which part is wrong, and therefore it's all mixed up in your mind, and it's very, very difficult, okay, to undo that. Okay. Whereas you learn from a patriarch, any level of patriarch, you know it is the proper Dharma. All right? Okay. We have Mahayana that's taking roots in the West, in the US. Therefore, be careful. Okay. Do not, I repeat, do not bother with non-patriarchs people. Okay. Same thing. You, whether you're in China, you're in Vietnam, so forth, I'm sorry, do not bother. Okay? If it's not a patriarch, don't bother. Okay? Because I heard so many people, whether it's Japanese, whether it's Sri Lankan, or and so forth, when they're not patriarchs, got not good use of my time, unfortunately. Okay? So yes, definitely the source matters. You want to learn the proper knowledge. Okay, we let the proper knowledge take root in your system, and eventually you will blossom. It will blossom. You will process yourself eventually. Okay, it takes a while before that happens, but you need to do it now. Okay, the sooner the better. Okay. So I don't recommend you to start researching sutras until you reach when I tell you. How's that? Okay, because next, if I say a certain level, you say, then I'm going to be bombarded with the texts and emails. Master, am I ready yet? Okay, so forget it. Okay, so the point is, eventually, I will help you invest the time for you to do that. Okay, because you need training. Okay, so that's one of the aspects of why it's important. Okay, skills, the Dharma speaking skills need to be honed, need to be worked on. The reason why you believe certain teachers and not the others is because your affinities. You have affinities with this teacher. Affinities meaning what? This teacher owes you. In Mahayana, when they say you have affinity with others, it usually means that you owe the other person. Typically. Okay? So they're here to claim their debts. All right? So that's why in the past, you made offerings to that teacher. That's why you have affinity with that teacher. Once you make an offering to a monk, to a person, it stays there forever until you claim it. Okay? So that's why in Mahayana, our practice is go out and what? Beg for food. Beg for things. Because we're doing that in order specifically to make sure we owe you. And when we owe you, we know that you are cheapskates. You know that you hold a debt towards us, so you always being cheapskates like you. Make sure you pursue us and claim the debts. Sounds familiar? When you loan money to someone, do you forget about it or you still remember? I remember for life. All right? So that's what it is. So you have affinity with that person. Okay? So clearly, the Koreans who are following us right now in a prior life were Vietnamese. Just kidding. We don't know. They could be Vietnamese. I could be Korean in a prior life. Who knows? Okay, or we could be Russian. What do we know? Okay, it doesn't matter. But the point is that I owe them. I owe you. That's why you are coming here and forces me to buy a church 10 times the size of what I really need. Okay, especially these monks and nuns who basically are good for nothing. And I had to feed them, clothe them, put up with their moods and their flaws. Okay, disgusting people. You see, clearly, I owe them big time. That's what we say in Buddhism. I have affinity with these losers. Okay? So that's affinity. That's the reason number 2. But the most important reason, what about people that have no affinity with you at all? How can you teach them? Would you like to know? How? By breaking through the shield. Each one of you have a shield around you. That's your protective shield. And if a teacher speaks, and you said, and the teacher, no matter what the teacher says, but he cannot penetrate your shield, you are less likely to accept what he says. So that's why, boys and girls, this is why there's no point in you in trying to prepare to speak Dharma if you have no samadhi power. It's too premature. You see? You need to have a certain level of samadhi before you can break through, penetrate the listener's shield. Because unless it happens, they will not believe you. They will not take you seriously. Okay, I remember when I was at the DRBA, at a novice, I have no clues whatsoever. But for some reason, okay, I was arrogant as well. I am arrogant as well. But for some reason, none of whatever those monks and nuns told me, I didn't buy it at all. I don't know, you remember there's a monk who yelled and screamed at me for an hour as a punishment, trying to teach me. For a whole hour, it bounces right back, and he couldn't even tell. The whole group there, they're watching it, but no one knew that it bounces right back. Whatever he yelled at me, it bounces right back. I didn't know at the time either, but I was totally unimpressed for the whole hour. Okay? Legs didn't even hurt. Because my shield was up. I said, you want to fight? Okay, let's fight. Since I cannot fight you because I'm supposed to be taking a beating, so I will use my shield and protect myself, that's all. And it bounces right back the whole hour. And the guy keep on going and going and screaming, yelling. I was sitting there, and nothing happens. Totally unaffected. I walked out of there, and what happened? Learned nothing. After 2 hours. Total waste of my time. Okay, so looking back, that's when I realized that why some of you are unimpressed with certain teachers is because they cannot penetrate the shield, your shield. All right? So that's why samadhi matters. That's why when you want to teach, you have to reach a certain samadhi level in order to break through. Okay? In a good way, not to violate them. All right? Next. So the contemporaries basically at the time were the bodhisattvas. The Buddha says, I'm here. My first act as a Buddha is to help the most important beings, the bodhisattvas. Those are number one in his world. Buddhism is very hierarchical, folks. Okay? We have priorities. We take care of our people. Don't think we're the same. We're not. Okay? Be more humble. Bodhisattvas come first. That's why the Buddha says, let me take care of these people who need my input, my teaching, in order to continue to make progress. All right? Next. 3:14. Benefit to the future. That is those who now see and hear.
2. 立后及经之文件。
And 3:15. So the second part, the second kind of benefit is for the future people like us who can see and hear. Okay, Dharma propagation. We need to make sure that the Dharma is seen, that Dharma is heard. All right? Next, 3:16. The chapter on bringing forth the resolve says, all of us Buddhas protect and maintain this Dharma.
发心品云：我等诸佛护持此法。
3:17. See, the Master Jing Liang is very, very scholarly, very logical. When he says something, he follows up something important. He follows up with an anecdote, with a proof. So he quoted that on the chapter in this sutra on bringing forth the resolve for Bodhi. In there is a text that says, all of us Buddhas protect and maintain this Dharma. Okay? This Avatamsaka Dharma, this flower adornment Dharma, all of them protect and maintain this Dharma. They protect this Dharma to make sure that it's not altered, that it's not, and so that it is intact, it is true. Okay? Maintain the Dharma to make sure that it's available to those who are qualified to receive it. Okay? So that this is this proper Dharma. What you learn here in this particular sutra is the highest level wisdom of the Dharma. Okay, and that is why it is under attack. It is under attack day and night by the externalists, by the demons. Okay, and these people are very powerful. Okay, and many of them. And that's why it is so important that they will never stop at trying to destroy this Dharma. This is why all Buddhas need to protect it. Okay? You see how important it is. And they protect it and make it available to us in order for us to develop our faith, experience joy from listening to it. Listening to this particular sutra brings on joy, okay? And so that we bring forth a desire to propagate and share and benefit others. All right? 318. So that in future times, all the bodhisattvas who have never heard it will all come to hear it.
令未来世一切菩萨未曾闻者，皆悉得闻。
319. In the future, bodhisattvas, the Master Shenhua Jingliang says, it must be us. Okay? I don't think it's us. We are not bodhisattvas. Are we? Any of you bodhisattvas? I'm not. So it can't be us. Okay, so what are we doing listening to it? Okay? We're listening to it because we have nothing else to do. Okay? But what's interesting to me is that in the future, all the bodhisattvas who have never heard of this sutra, is it possible that you can be a bodhisattva and never hear of this sutra? Here's a proof. Yes, you can. You see that? You can become a bodhisattva, you can become enlightened, and would not have to hear of this flower adornment sutra. Because that's the nature of Buddhist teaching. If you want to become enlightened, all you need to do is learn the Prajna Dharma. That's how you understand and know how to become enlightened. Okay? Prajna Dharma meaning Vajra Sutra and those types of sutras. The Heart Sutra and so forth, those are Prajna Dharmas. You investigate that, you learn that, you will become enlightened. Okay? So that's why many bodhisattvas may have never heard of this sutra at all. Okay? So they need to hear this sutra. Why? Because in order for them to quickly progress through the stages and reach Buddhahood, they better off investigating this flower adornment sutra. So that's why the Buddhas, maybe they're impatient. They said, all these bodhisattvas here, and they haven't heard of this. I better tell them about it so that they can become a Buddha quicker, so that I can retire. Something along that line. Okay? So again, this is again the proof that this is the ultimate wisdom of the Buddhas. 320. This benefit has two further aspects. One, because it acts as a solid seed for those who see and hear it.
此义复二：一，令得见闻，为兼重故。
Okay, now they say in terms of benefits. Okay, what are the benefits? There are two types of benefits. Okay, it's a benefit as a seed. You plant the seeds. When you hear and you see, in particular, if you both see and hear, okay, it acts as a solid seed. Okay, solid seed here refers to a seed that is extremely difficult to destroy. Okay, these seeds can be there for a long, long time before they sprout. So that's why the superior seeds are the ones that are solid. They can endure. They can survive the test of time, the test of obstruction, the test of forest fires and so forth. Okay? And flood and wind calamity and those things. Okay? And those are the solid seeds that will survive. Okay, and so you see again, Buddha's wisdom: plant the seeds by hearing, by seeing. You are planting these superior, solid seeds. Number 2, 322, the Manifestations chapter says, just as a person who eats a small piece of vajra will never digest it, and so forth.
出现品云，如人食少金刚，终尽不消等。
323, the great master gave a quote. He says in the Manifestation chapter later, okay, in the sutra, it says, just like a person who eats, who ingests a small piece of vajra, will never be able to digest it, and so forth. Okay, vajra is the hardest substance in the entire universe. Okay, it is indestructible, meaning that this Buddhist substance here called vajra is something that we Buddhists can concoct, can make, that no one else can. In particular, only the Mahayana Buddhists can create, can mine, if you will, this vajra type of materials. Okay? Hinayana have no way of mining this. And I use the word mine because it's very, very fashionable nowadays. We mine the cryptocurrencies. Okay? Things of great values, apparently, to people of the world. But for us Buddhists, we practice chant meditation. We recite the Buddha's name. Okay? You do the 42 hands and eyes. You recite sutras. We bow to the Buddhas. All those particular Dharma doors, okay, are taught to you in order for you to mine this thing called vajra. Where does it come from? You. Okay? You mine it from yourself. It's not from a mountain somewhere in the Himalayas. It's too far away. Okay? Or it cannot be something that like you have to get on a rocket and to the moon, go to the moon and mine it. No, you mine it right from your own body, from yourself. And by the way, speaking of rockets, remind me later to speak when we're private about Jeff Bezos and his rockets. It is ludicrous, and I cannot speak about it in polite company. I took a look at his rocket, the one that he brought, who flew up into the space recently. I look at the rocket, oh my God, here he goes again. Is it me only, or no one ever complains about it? I don't get it, you people. You missed the message totally. I don't get it. And how can he get away with that? Okay? But again, we can't talk about this in polite company. Maybe tomorrow at lunch. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is still lunch Sunday. Maybe Monday or something. Okay? Okay, we can't talk about it. Okay? Not officially. Okay. Anyway, so this vajra here is something that we teach you how to mine it. Okay? And once you have this vajra that belongs to you, what's the advantage? The advantage is that you will be invincible. Meaning that demons can no longer harm you. That's when demons become afraid of you. For example, in the 42 hands and eyes, we have these Vasha weapons. You use those weapons against the demons, they have no defense against it. Try it, you see. Okay, so this Vasha thing here is indestructible. So that's why the analogy here is even you ingest a small piece of Vasha, it will stay in your stomach forever. That's the idea. Okay? Okay, so it's the analogy of the fact that it stays with you forever, assuming you don't go to the toilet. The Chinese are too polite to talk about going to the toilet. That's why you swallow it and it stays with you forever. But the concept here is once you see and hear this Flower Dormant Sutra, that's why I know, and I don't know about you, but I know I can't wait to go into the sutra text myself. Because when I see and hear it, what happens? We plant the seeds, the Vasha seeds, that will never be destroyed. Never. How is that? Ooh, number 9. It's called, what we call in the US, hot stuff. Yes, 9.
Master, is this the only way for us to develop Vajra? Is by listening to the Avatamsaka Sutra?
It's one of the many ways. But the analogy here is that when we listen to this Avatamsaka Sutra, we are planting seeds, Vasha seeds, in our body. Okay? It will be there forever because even demons cannot destroy it. So you don't need to be enlightened yet to have Vasha. The mere fact that you are listening to this is creating Vashas in yourself. So as you listen more and more, hear more and more of you has Vasha without being enlightened. How's that? Now Lily is interested. See? It's so easy. She worked so hard. The Korean way, 100 days this, 100 days that. Bowing this, bowing that forever. Still no Vasha. When Flower Dormant Sutras, listen to it. Vasha seeds. Seeds are here. All right? That's why we are taking advantage of this wonderful benefit. 324. 2, because it causes one to bring forth, practice, accomplish, and certify to entry.
2,令其形成正入故。
325. You like the space, or is it too fast, too slow for you? Huh? We don't want to dwell too much on these scholarly things, okay? I tried to bring it down a little bit to keep you, prevent you from falling asleep. Okay. But 325, 2, second aspect, okay? This sutra, okay, can cause you to aspire to become a Buddha. Because you're learning that you have a chance to be a Buddha. Okay? And this wonderful thing is within reach for you. Okay? It's not only reserved for the Bodhisattvas, it's for you as well. You never know. Because if you listen to this sutra, maybe you become a Bodhisattva just like that yourself. Because this teaching here also have a certain teaching. It's so perfect teaching. All right? So you bring forth the resolve to become a Buddha, and you practice because you say, What else is more important for me to do? Get married? Get a job? Make money? Oh God, it's so ordinary. Well, I know about these things, lofty things. Slaying the dragon, the demons. Huh? Flying into galaxy number N497. Huh? Oh, it's this freedom you're going to have. And that's why you said, if the bodhisattvas can do it, so can I. Okay? And this is the thing about Mahayana. We don't have secrets. We don't say that, no, you have to pay me in order for me to teach you. Or you pay more, I teach you more, and that kind of thing. No, it's free. We give it to you free. If you deserve it, we'll give it to you for free. Okay? Yes, number 8.
From San Jose Daniel, does listening and reading Great Master Qing Liang's preface also plant similar seeds?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And then accomplish. Practicing always has a goal. Practices are measurable. They're not just talk. Practices are practical. They have results. They're measurable things that you can measure. Okay? So and somehow it got lost in the teaching of Buddhism nowadays. People encourage you to practice. Oh, you should meditate. You should bow. You should recite mantra. You should recite Buddha's name. The question is, what's missing out there is, when you do that, what are you accomplishing? Why do you tell me to meditate? What do I accomplish? If you don't talk about accomplishment, it's basically blind faith. Bring forth, meaning we bring forth the faith. We have faith, then you will be taught how to do it. And when you're taught how to do it, you expected to reach milestones. Otherwise, why continue? I'm sorry, I feel like I'm starting a revolution. Because the Chinese, they say, oh, this is so wonderful, you master, you speak Dharma so profound, so anything. So you hear and you see it. And then what? You don't practice and you have no accomplishment. It's useless. It's a waste of time in my mind, especially in modern times where we don't have a lot of time. Okay? We have to compete against people going to the bars, going swimming, going play football in the backyard with their friends, get together with their relatives. That's what we're competing against. Because unless we give them something, boys and girls, that's measurable, they're not gonna do it. In particular, San Jose. What happened to San Jose? Yeah, San Jose just disappeared. Oh my God. Call the police. San Jose is missing. Report a missing San Jose people. Am I the only one who notices that these people are missing? I can't believe it. Huh? No one noticed. Oh, San Jose, like magic. Okay? I need to stress to you, okay? This is what makes me unhappy about the way the Chinese teach themselves. They believe in Master YongHua, so they believe, so I want to become a Buddha. They practice, okay, so I help out in the temple, I meditate from 5 to 7, I go to morning ceremony, but then they stop right there. That's it. Okay? Then it's like eating pho, chewing, but not swallowing. So there's no accomplishment, there's no real benefits. What happened? And this is what to me is annoying when I started learning about this. If I do this, what am I getting out of this? What am I supposed to get out of this? If you tell me to meditate, how do I get into first dhyana? When am I going to get into first dhyana? My question is very simple. No one can answer me. How do I get into first dhyana? How do I get into first stage arhat? Too Western minded, huh? But how you get the young generations to learn about Buddhism? You don't tell them, you're not cognizant of the fact. We're competing. We have competing projects. Okay, so that's why the practice, will be punctuated by accomplishments. You will accomplish certain things. Okay? And eventually, the end prize to accomplish is along the way. But there's a big prize, contrary to a very limited monk who told me there's no big prize. What are you talking about? You cannot talk to me like that. Okay? You cannot talk to modern day people like, there's no prize. There's no prize and there's nothing to do. There's a prize. It's proven here. The great Master Xingliang says, yes, there's a prize. That is to certify to entry. Okay? What does it mean? When your accomplishment is significant enough, then the sages, the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas will come and certify you that you entered the realm of sages. That's a big prize. Not the money, not the temples, not the fame, not the disciples. 326. The Manifestations chapter also says, should there be a bodhisattva who, for limitless 100,000 million nayutas of kalpas, cultivate the 6 paramitas?
出现又云：设有菩萨，无量百千亿，那由他劫，行六波罗蜜。
All right, commentary 327. Again, he quoted Manifestations chapter. He says, should there be a bodhisattva, who's been practicing for countless, uncountable kalpas. This is great kalpas. It's a lot of years, No point getting these big numbers. It's not fathomable to us, It's meant to say it's way too many for your little brains to handle, And cultivate the 6 paramitas. 6 paramitas are, don't ever forget about this. This should be part of your vocabulary, That's hiatus, What are the 6 paramitas again? Okay, let's check the Koreans. What are the 6 paramitas? Don't look. Xian Kong. What are the 6 paramitas? Don't cheat. Don't look at the screen. If you fail this test, no ordination.
Giving. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Don't look at the screen.
Giving paramita. Precept paramita.
Close your eyes.
Patience paramita.
Yeah, close your eyes. I don't trust you.
And vigor paramita. Dhyana samadhi paramita.
Dhyana
And
paramita.
with prajna paramita.
Okay, that's pretty good, huh? Good job. Yeah, very nice. You see, the Koreans are applauding their own. Good Lord. However, it's all correct. However, because of the slowness, ordination will be delayed until next year. Okay, next. Just kidding. Oh, she's crying already. Practicing various kinds of bodhishare dharmas, yet have never heard of this dharma door, the thus come one's inconceivably great, awesome virtue.
修习种种菩提分法，若未闻此如来不思议大威德法门。
329. When you practice the bodhisattva path, when you practice our Mahayana, you practice the 6 paramitas. So far, so good. So you should always remember what those 6 paramitas, because everything you practice is included in the 6 paramitas. When you think about it, you understand eventually that everything you do every day is the 6 paramitas. So far, so good. Everything. 42 hands and eyes, 6 paramitas. Chant, 6 paramitas. Recite Buddha's name, 6 paramitas. Morning ceremony, 6 paramitas. And on, and so on, and so on. Okay? And in addition to practicing 6 paramitas, they also practice the various kinds of bodhishare dharmas. Bodhishare dharmas here refers to the dharmas in Mahayana that will bring you to enlightenment. Okay? And will be elaborated later, but these are the details eventually will be necessary for us to repeat over and over again, okay? Because there's a lot of them. There's 37 bodhishares. 37. Okay, 37. You see? So you it's a lot to remember, but these are the practices, the detailed practices of the bodhisattvas. They specialize in these different 37 different types of aspects of the practice that will help them, bring them closer to enlightenment. So far, so good? Okay, this is how the Indians and the Chinese would like to do it. Okay, for us Americans, modern day people, too many. And besides, we cannot remember. I have bad memory. Okay, so we don't need to memorize them all, but we need to know about them so that you see eventually you see how helpful they are. Okay, you don't need to practice all of them. Okay, and there are shortcuts. Okay, there are different things. Okay, so don't be scared. Okay, just beware that the Mahayana Dharma doors are very, very detailed. We have detailed knowledge on how to do things, and it's so clearly described that the knowledge of the patriarchs in Mahayana responsible for training the future generations is very, very profound. Okay? Okay, so I quoted some Chinese here for your future reference. Okay, so they're known. There are 7 enlightenment branches, 7 Bodhi shares in particular. The Nian, okay, and then you have Zhe Fa, and then you have Jing Jin, and then you have Xi Jue, Xi, okay, and then you have Jing An, and then you have Ling, and you have Sha. Okay, you better learn Chinese. Hey, how come the Koreans don't translate this or Vietnamese? What happened? They got lazy? Look at this. There's so much. At least translate the 1, the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 5, and the 6, and the 7 for future reference. Okay? Okay, and they also translate 四念处, 四正寝, 四如意足, 四五根, 五力, and so forth. Okay, these are for future references. All right, but my boys and girls are lazy. They didn't want to go into this because they didn't understand Chinese. Unless I put some English, then they ignore it. Okay, anyway. Don't worry, we will revisit these important concepts later. 331. Or perhaps has heard it, but does not believe or understand it, nor accord with it or enter it. He cannot be called a true and actual bodhisattva.
或识闻已，不信、不解、不顺、不入，不得名为真实菩萨。
332. Even if you are bodhisattva level, meaning you enlighten. Okay? Meaning any of you out there who's enlightened. Anyone? Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand. No bodhisattva here today. No one? There's no need for me to explain this to you. You practice all these things, and yet you may have heard of it, but do not believe. You say, what do I need to do this? I'm enlightened already. I don't need the Flower Adornment Sutra. Okay? Or you hear of it, but you don't understand it. Okay? You say, non-obstruction of specifics and specifics, I don't understand. I don't care. You better care. Okay? No accord with or enter it. Meaning that, accord with it or enter it. Meaning that if the Buddha teaches this sutra, it must be for a very important reason. It's to benefit these bodhisattvas. And they said, no, the Buddha is doing this, but I'm busy. I'm busy building a temple. I'm busy teaching my disciples. I'm busy paying back my debts to living beings. So you don't accord with the Buddha's taking the time to teach them. And they refuse to say this Avatamsaka Sutra here, this flower adornment, Dharma door. Who cares? You know, I'm practice Chan. I don't care for Flower Adornment Sutra. I'm a Chan person. Anyone? Sounds familiar? You're an idiot. Let me tell you. I'm not from me, but according to Master Ching Yang, you're an idiot. You hear? You're not a Chan person. You can be enlightened, but you're not willing to enter this Flower Adornment Sutra, Dharma door, and you say, no, I'm a Chan specialist. I don't need to enter this. Then you cannot be called a true, an actual bodhisattva. You are a poor, low-life bodhisattva. All right? So far, so good? See, I explained differently this time. I said, not enough blessing, enough good root, not Mahayana local. No, this is very personal. The great Master Ching Liang says, you may be enlightened. You may be a bodhisattva. But you still need to see and hear, okay? Because seeing and hearing will supposedly develop your faith, deepen your faith, okay? Otherwise, without this particular Dharma door called Flower and Dormant Sutra here, you cannot be a true, okay, an actual bodhisattva. What is a true bodhisattva and an actual? What's the difference between true and actual? What's the difference? Why does he use both words, true and actual? Billy, why? Wake up. Okay. Go pick your products.
Thank you, Master. I think truth means go with the instinct or heart you believe in. You believe into something. It's called truth. Actuals mean that you are kind of not aware of what's going on. Is that a true actual stuff or just actuals?
Okay. All right. Anyone else? A true and actual bodhisattva. Only Master Ching Liang would dare talk like that. I would not dare talk like that. Master Ching Liang says, you're not a true bodhisattva, meaning what? You're not really a bodhisattva. You may be enlightened, but you don't qualify. You don't meet the standards of a bodhisattva. A bodhisattva is more than just someone who is enlightened. You understand the difference? Someone who is enlightened is not necessarily a bodhisattva. Someone who is enlightened is not a true bodhisattva yet. They're very precise here, folks. You understand? You don't understand what I'm talking about because it's very clear in our world. We teach you, bring you to enlightenment. And once you enlighten here, okay, we also prepare you to act like a bodhisattva. Okay? Then act is actual. True is that you're not real. Okay? Actual is the difference is that true is that you will not qualify. You don't meet the qualification. All right? You're not a heavyweight. Like you are still in boxing, using boxing terms, you're still a lightweight. You're not a heavyweight yet. You understand? You may be a boxer, you may be enlightened, but you're not the right weight yet, weight class yet. The bodhisattva has certain requirements. There are more than just becoming enlightened. This is the first time that I hear of this. These great bodhisattvas and Buddhas are very, very precise. Is that you have to earn your stripes as a bodhisattva. After you become enlightened, you have to learn how to be a bodhisattva. San Jose people, did you know about this? I bet you didn't. All of you saying, "Oh, I just want to be enlightened, and I'm perfect, I'm happy." No, after you're enlightened, you still need to meet the criteria of a bodhisattva. you become a sergeant. Okay, sergeant stripes. That's how you become a bodhisattva. That's you become a true bodhisattva. What about an actual bodhisattva? What is actual? Huh? Come on, wake up. Yes, number 9. KKL.
Master, could it mean that an actual bodhisattva would be a bodhisattva that is recognized by other bodhisattvas?
No. Anyone else? What's an actual bodhisattva? Am I the only one who understands this? It must be so, huh? That's why I'm here and you there. San Jose people, what's an actual bodhisattva? Question from JMT.
Master is the answer. I think actual bodhisattva is a bodhisattva who can save living beings.
He can save living beings. He's not Korean. That doesn't count. Okay, give San Jose a chance. What's actual bodhisattva? The old monk, in all his old glory.
Phải thực hành lục độ và những cái giới hạn của những cái, bởi vì mình nói là đốn ngộ nhưng phải tiệm tu. Những cái thói hư tật xấu nhiều đời nhiều kiếp không thể nào một ngày mà gỡ được. Thành ra cái vị nào giác ngộ rồi cũng phải đi từ lên và phải tu lục độ. Chẳng hạn như Bồ Tát Quan Thế Âm, khi mà nói Chúa Đại Bi trước mặt Đức Phật Thích Ca, Ngài nói Ngài đắc sơ địa mà được sơ địa, nhưng mà nghe sau khi thầy của Ngài nói Chú Đại Bi rồi thì Ngài đắc bát địa. Nhưng mà tới bây giờ tức là lúc mà đang nói Chú Đại Bi trong Pháp hội của Phật Thích Ca đó, Ngài nói tôi vẫn còn tụng Chú Đại Bi tới giờ này. Đó là Bồ Tát phải thực hành như vậy, chứ không phải thành Bồ Tát là nghỉ hết, không có làm gì, xin hết.
Master, I think like they need to practice the 6 paramita, so they can attain certain enlightenment, but they still have to practice gradual. So, like for example, we have a lot of habit and then bad habit. So it takes time to erase it, to fix it. So it cannot be erased like immediately. So, for example, Guan Yin Bodhisattva, when she talked about when she proclaimed the Great Compassion mantra, and then she said that hearing that mantra helps her to jump from 1st ground Bodhisattva to 8th ground Bodhisattva. But until now, meaning the time when she proclaimed the mantra in that Dharma assembly, she's still continuously practicing the Great Compassion mantra. So meaning that they have to do it, they have to continuously practicing.
Anyone else? Very good. You see, only the Vietnamese get it. None of you else. You see, no Americans, no Koreans, no Chinese. No Americans. Correct. That's very good. Okay. Actual is to do the work of a bodhisattva. When you're an actual bodhisattva, you behave like a bodhisattva. What does a bodhisattva behave like? By working, by doing the work of a bodhisattva, which is what? Save living beings. You cannot be a bodhisattva and say, I'm a bodhisattva, I'm enlightened, so I'm going to go back to my hut and I meditate until the day I die. Then you're not an actual bodhisattva. Okay? You're not doing the work of a bodhisattva. Bodhisattvas don't worry about themselves. They work to help save living beings first. That's why it's very precise. You have to do the actual work in order to qualify as a bodhisattva. And you cannot be a true bodhisattva, okay? Because you need to meet the requirements, the qualifications of bodhisattva, which is beyond more than just being enlightened. Very good. Continuing, 333. Isn't there some kind of Vietnamese beer by the name 333? Billy said, yes, I remember that.
I saw it on YouTube, it says 333 beer.
They still sell those?
I think so, I'm not sure. I saw it on YouTube, but sometimes they had it in the...
It's a tiger thing, I remember vaguely. It's a tiger face. And then 333.
Saigon beer and the 333.
Okay, number one.
These are two different types of beers. 333 is different from Tiger beer. This
It is different?
brand.
Different from tiger?
Yeah.
Oh my
There's
God.
a Tiger beer.
Oh my God, I'm so out of touch. I'm not an actual beer drinker. Okay, next. Just joking. You guys are so serious. God. Lighten up. Nor can he be reborn in the thus come one's family. If someone hears this Dharma, believes and understands it, accords with it, has awakened entry into it, understands as it's an S here. Master Xianjie, wake up. Master Xianjie entered Samadhi already, you know. This morning, I sent him out with Clark to get a microwave. And that's Bodhisattva work. Go ahead.
以不能生如来家故，若闻此法，信解随顺，误入。
Has awakened and entered. There's no awakened entry. This is off. Has awakened and entered. Make the correction, please. This is wrong. Wu ru is two verbs. You have to wu, and then you have to ru. Okay. Nor can he be reborn into the thus come one's family. Okay. What is thus come one's family? It is called, what's another name for that? Anyone knows? No, not Sangha. What is it called? Tathagata Club. No. Not funny, huh? My point here, Tathagata's family is of exclusive, private club. Not anyone can enter it. It's very privileged. Okay? That's why it's brought up. Can be reborn into the thus come one's family. You cannot be born into the upper crust, the upper class. The first one's family is nothing more noble than the Deskam one's family. Is that clear? Okay? This is kind of interesting to me, is that because this is where this concept of Meng Dang, Hu Dui, okay? Meaning that you need to have the proper class in order to marry each other. The Chinese have. Right? So, you have to be born in the right family. It's so important. You have to be born in Vietnam. I mean, before it fell. Just kidding. Okay. So there is a distinction where you're born into the Deskam one's family. You understand? It's a very big privilege, okay, to be able to be born there. Okay? And so that's why these not true and actual bodhisattvas cannot get close to the Buddha himself, which is what? One of the worst punishment. Did you know that? You can not draw near the Buddha. Buddha doesn't want you. Buddha does not discriminate, and yet you cannot be born and come and get to be near him. You are excluded. It's one of the worst punishment you can have. This is worse than going to the hells. Did you know that? Go to the hells is nothing compared to say, no, Buddha doesn't want you. That's terrible, because Buddha wants everyone, and yet he doesn't want you. Horrible. It's just like you wear a sign that says, rejected by the Buddha in your forehead. Everywhere you go, everyone knows. Oh, that's a reject. To me, it's funny that there's this concept where you cannot be reborn into the Deskam one's family. I didn't know about this. Okay? They take it very seriously. You must be able to draw near the Buddha. The Buddha must decide to take care of you. Just because you're in a house then of the Buddha, is that the same? No, you're just a servant. Buddha doesn't care for you. Isn't that terrible? Buddha is the kindest, more compassionate human being in the entire universe, and yet you only are a servant. You don't deserve his attention. Yes, number 9.
Why would the Buddha not want to help this person?
Spoke like a true Westerner. Why? Why not me? I'm entitled to it too.
I didn't sound like that.
Huh? Don't you feel entitled too? If the Vietnamese can be in the Deskam one's family, okay, why can't I be? Because no more Vietnam, you idiot. It's funny, isn't it typical of these people in these Westerns? I thought Buddha is equal opportunity. What about affirmative action? Equal opportunity. Next thing she says, next thing you're going to tell me he doesn't like women either. Who can help her out, please? The men in go first. explaining this woman here. Why she can't be born in this someone's family. Hey, she put those words in my mouth. She said, why not? Why not? I assume me. Okay, man, explain to that woman. Tuan, there you go. Tuan has all the answers. Don't get in trouble. Next, we ask one Teksunim to explain. Give one Teksunim a microphone. Why can't Vicky be born in this someone's family?
One Teksunim.
Tuan so happy. Oh, I yield to one Teksunim. Good Lord. Any brave soul, male soul in Go Forest there. See the monk, I expect him to raise his hand. This is when I would not raise my hand. Because you can't win this in America. Go ahead, the old monk.
A Di Đà Phật, trước nhất chúng ta phải hiểu cái term, cái danh từ Phật là gì. Nhiều người nghĩ Phật là người Đại Hà thì nói Phật có râu, Bồ Tát có râu, rồi người Trung Hoa thì Ngài Di Lặc phải mập, rồi Phật Ca Diếp khác, Phật Thích Ca chứ hả? Thì người Mỹ kêu là Buddha, rồi người Tàu kêu là Giác Giả. Cô dịch chứ cô nhận.
So before we talk about it, we should know about the term. So what is a Buddha? The Korean people, they say that the Buddha needs to have a mustache. The Chinese say the Buddha needs to be round and fat. So they say like this Buddha is different from the other Buddha.
Dịch là Phật là giác giả, tức là người biết. Cô dịch đi.
So we call the Buddha is the one who knows. So that the term is like Yakya is the one who know.
Thì một vị thiền sư hỏi ông vua Đường cũng hỏi thiền sư chứ trẫm có cái Như Lai đó không?
So
thiền sư nói dạ có chứ.
The king asked a Chan master, say like, do I have that True Lai? And then the Chan master say, yeah, of course you have it.
Thì ông vua mới hỏi ở đâu?
And the king asked like, where is it?
Thì ông thiền sư nó không biết ở đâu, nhưng mà nó làm cho bà Hạ biết nghe, biết nói, biết cười, biết đi đó. Cái đó là gọi là Như Lai, là Phật của bà Hạ đó.
And the Chan master said like, I don't know what it is, but that is the thing that makes you aware of that you are talking, you are hearing, you are seeing, you know things. So that is the there's come one.
Thì các thiền sư hồi thời Ngài Huệ Năng cũng nói Phật là gì? Phật là cái biết của ông đó. Cái awareness, ability của ông đó.
So the Buddha is like your knowing nature, your awareness ability.
Thì Đức Phật Thích Ca mới giảng cho Ngài A Nan, sau khi Ngài A Nan biết là những cái vọng tưởng của ông đó là nó do vọng tưởng của ông chứ không có thật, nhưng mà cái biết của ông nó không sanh không diệt, nó thường còn mãi mãi, gọi là Như Lai đó.
So the Buddha explained to Ananda that your false thinking, it's impermanent, it's not true, but your knowing nature it's the permanent there.
Thì Ngài A Nan mới mừng quá, mới nói là diệu trạm tổng trì bất động tôn thủ lăng nghiêm vương, là Ngài A Nan biết được cái không đó, cái Như Lai đó Ngài có không sanh không diệt, cho Ngài mừng quá, mày mới nói cái câu đó trong chú lăng nghiêm mình đọc mỗi buổi sáng đó.
So
diệu trạm tổng trì bất động tôn.
So after Ananda heard about it and understand, he was so joyful, and then that's why he said it in the beginning section of the Leng Yen Zhou, the Shurankama mantra. I say like, oh, deep and wondrous Dharani, unmoving, honored one, And then the Surangama is the supreme that appear in the world.
Thì sau khi Ngài hiểu cái vọng tưởng nó không có thật, cho nên mẹ mừng á, mẹ nói là bất lịch tăng kỳ hoạch pháp thân. Tức là không cần phải trải qua nhiều đời nhiều kiếp gì, là tôi bỏ nó, tôi quên nó thì tôi còn cái biết đó là tôi thành Phật ngay, chứ không phải qua tăng kỳ hoạch pháp thân nào cả. Những vọng tưởng là những cái không có thật.
So after he understood that the false thinking is not true, and then as long as you get rid of it, you immediately become a Buddha. And then that's why he said that I don't need to go through eons of cultivation. I can become a Buddha immediately.
Rồi cuối cùng thì sau khi thầy giảng tục tổ thì tôi đọc Ngài Thần Hội. Ngài Thần Hội là kế thừa tổ của Ngài Năng. Sau khi tổ tịch thì Ngài Thần Hội nói một câu rất đơn giản thôi. Cái biết của ông đó, ông cái tin là ông biết cái đó là Phật của ông đó, không cần phải trải qua tăng kiếp. Cái biết của ông, cái đó là Phật, là cái Như Lai của ông đó. Chỉ cần ông tin như vậy thì dầu có vào địa ngục hay đi đâu nó vẫn đi theo ông, nó không có sanh không diệt. Cái đó là mấy ông đó, không có khỏi cái ý nghĩ nào cả. Thì ngay lúc bây giờ cái biết đó nó là Phật của ông đó, là Như Lai đó.
So after I learned about the Six-Page Sutra, and then I also investigate about Shan Hui, the disciple of Six-Page, and then he also say the same thing, that that is your knowing nature, is also your Buddha, that is your thus come one, thus unmoving, and then once you have it, doesn't matter where you go, even if you go to the hell, that knowing nature is still follow you, and then that's the one that not born, not destroyed, and it's always there.
Cũng như tôi rất thích cái huy hiệu của Ngài, cái vong hiệu của Ngài Hư Vân. Nếu mà Ngài Hư Vân không có đặt là Hư Vân thì tôi sẽ lấy tên tôi là Hư Vân.
So I really love the Dharma name of Master Xu Yun. If he did not use that name, I could choose that as my Dharma name, Xu Yun, which is like empty cloud.
Bởi vì cái bầu trời xanh á, nó thường còn bất sinh bất diệt, nó nằm ở đó. Cái bầu trời xanh chúng ta thấy lên á, nó không sanh không diệt, nó như vậy là như vậy, nó touch không quên, nó như vậy, nó không đến không đi. Nó tựa vô cái Phật tánh mình mới nói đó, cái biết của mình đó. Còn cái vân đó, những cái đám mây đó, sanh diệt, tụ rồi tan, nó dụ cho những cái thức, những cái vọng tưởng mình đó. Còn cái bầu trời nó không sanh không diệt, thì cái đó là cái main idea của Phật Pháp mà Đức Phật dạy mình đó. Thì tôi thấy cái người nào cũng có cái Phật tánh, cái không đó hết, nó không có biết là nam nữ, súc vật hay rồng hay rắn hay người hay là cọp hay sói gì, ai cũng có cái không, cái biết đó. Cái cột nó không có, cái cục đá nó không có, mà cái chúng lơ hữu tình mình có. Cái đó là gọi là Phật tánh, thì không phân biệt nam nữ già trẻ, thú vật hay là loài người gì cả. Xin hết.
So his Dharma name is Xu Yun. Empty is like the blue sky. It does come one, and then it's not born, it's not destroyed, and then that is your Buddha nature, that is your knowing nature. Everybody has the Buddha nature. It has no distinguish between man and woman or animals or whatever. Sensual beings all have the Buddha nature. And then cloud is the thing that say that, okay, the cloud is like it's gathered together and it dispersed, so it's similar to your false thinking, that it comes and then it's disappear. So that's why I love that Dharma name.
Need to make a correction. Insentient beings also have the Buddha nature. All right. So, but what does it have to do with the family? We're talking about family here. Why can't I be in the thus come one's family? Will someone explain to me, please? Okay, let's move to the girls. You girls, you mother people, why can't you, murder those people. Huh? Why are you so discriminating? No one? I must explain everything. I ask a question, I have to answer it. Next time, I will not ask questions anymore if you like this. Okay? When I ask a question, you're supposed to answer. Just like when you ask questions, I answered. It's not fair. Go ahead, Q&A. Answer. Go ahead, Joe. Answer, please. Woman.
Untitled Master, I don't know, I'm just making a guess. I'm thinking that because we're not good enough and it's the level, we don't have that level of, I'm not sure what to say. I just think we're not good enough to be born there. And I think Buddha do not have that judgment. It's just that we're not good enough to reach that level.
Very good. Anyone else? Any other woman? Go ahead, Q&A.
Emitofuo, I will make another guess that those people who got enlightenment, got a certain enlightenment, but they chose the path not save a living being. So actually they themselves go out of the Tathagata's family, not they exclude themselves.
Very good. Okay, what about JMT? Is it a man or woman who's answering now? Woman. Okay, go ahead, woman answer. Woman knows better. They're in charge of this department, you know.
별의 집에 태어나지 못하는 것은 복이 없기 때문이고 성근이 없기 때문입니다.
The reason that the person will not be born in the thus commons family is because of there's no blessing.
No blessing. Can I say that, are we done here? Is it Q&A? Still Q&A? Let's give Q&A a chance first.
Di Đà Phật, con nghĩ cái người mà nhập vào nhà Như Lai đó, tức là 100% không còn cái chướng ngại nào nữa, thì vào được cái third common, cái Như Lai tuyệt đối đó. Chẳng hạn Phật Thích Ca trong cái phẩm mà sám hối trang nghiêm thành Phật đó, Ngài nói Ngài tu không biết bao nhiêu đời nhiều kiếp, đủ các pháp hết mà không thành Phật. Cho đến khi Ngài gặp Phật Định Quang, Ngài mới complete đi là vô cái third common đó được.
Ok.
Thì một bằng chứng nữa là hồi thời Phật Thích Ca đó, Ngài Xá Lợi Phất không tin là người nữ thành Phật. Người nữ nhiều nghiệp chướng. Đã vậy mà long nữ là rồng, là súc vật nữa, mà con nít mới có 8 tuổi à, thì làm sao thành Phật? Thì cái nàng rồng mới đưa dương ngọc cho cúng dường Phật, Phật nhận thì Ngài mới nói là ông lấy sức thần của ông, coi thôi thành Phật lẹ hơn cái Đức Phật nhận cái dương ngọc của tôi nữa. Thành ra đâu có cái lý nào mà người nữ không nhập được, tại cái tánh biết nó giống nhau mà.
Okay.
Thành ra cái đó là cái hiểu lầm của chúng sanh thôi. Đức Phật mới chứng minh cho mình trong cái phẩm mà long nữ đó.
Very good. Okay. One.
Master, does this only apply to the enlightened beings that they're not able to born in the Duscam One family?
Yeah. They cannot be born. Even if you're enlightened, you cannot be born in the Duscam One's family. That's what he says here. It's not my words, his words.
Was for ordinary people like us, we
forget it. Ordinary people like you, forget it. Don't even bring yourself up. Anyone else? You definitely are not going to be born there. Don't even bother dreaming. I gave you a clue already. Women know better. You get it now? Because when it's time, she says, not now, I'm having a headache. So he has to go be born somewhere else. He can't wait anymore. 49 days are gone. Okay, he's been waiting. On the 49th day, he's supposed to be born. That's one family, but she says, not today. Oh, you guys really don't understand anything at all. Never mind. Okay, so why is it born? Of course, Taozi gave you the answer already. It's not good enough. You can want all you want. Listen, I don't know about you, but this is very personal. When I was in Vietnam, I remember those days. We applied for a visa into the US, okay? They basically, you go to the embassy, US embassy. Have you happened to any of you go to US embassy anywhere in Hong Kong, in Vietnam, in France? They all look at you and say, what are you doing here? You don't deserve to get in. Does it sound familiar? Huh? Yeah, they look down upon you. You're not good enough. What are you doing here? We're very exclusive. You can't just get in just like that. You must do something. Right? So, you assume as if reborn, the Duscam family as your right. You people with a sense of entitlement. I'm entitled to do this. I'm entitled to be enlightened. Now I'm enlightened. I'm entitled to be in the Duscam One's family. Excuse me? You can't even be a U.S. citizen and you want to be in the Duscam One's family? You got to be kidding me. Billy likes it, huh? Are you a citizen? Yeah, see, Billy is a U.S. citizen. Okay. You cannot be reborn here not because the Buddha doesn't want you. The Buddha doesn't care, okay? But it's just your own karmic obstruction stop you from being born. It's no one else's fault but your own. You stop yourself. Remember I told you earlier the concept? You limit yourself. You're the one who's stopping yourself, no one else's. You stop yourself from being reborn in the Duscam One's family. Is it clear? It's you, no one else's. Don't complain that it's unfair, that they're sexist, and then the Buddha is a male chauvinist, and that kind of thing. No, we're not like that. A little bit of it, but not always. Okay? You're not worthy. You shoot yourself in your foot, and you expect good things to happen to yourself. Okay? It has nothing to do with migraines. Okay? It's you. If someone hears, so how can you be reborn? Let's finish this quickly. If someone hears this Dharma, okay, this Flower Dormant Sutra, believes here means has no doubt whatsoever. They don't say, is it real? Is it for real? Okay? When you believe, meaning that it's not about I believe. This belief here means that has no doubt, no thoughts of doubt arising at all. Because the state that are described here in the sutra are inconceivable. They hear all these things, okay, and yet they have not a single thought of doubt, okay? Understands it, okay? That's better with how now you don't have any doubt and yet you understand. Now you're a little bit better, okay? You're better class now, okay? You probably end up being born as a girl in the Buddha's family because you understand. Men don't understand. We simply work, okay? We don't need brains, okay? Accords with it, okay? Accords with it, okay? And has awakened to, okay? Meaning awakened to the principles, okay? Principles of non-obstruction. The principles of the oneness. The principles of limitless. Okay? You awaken to those principles and entered into it. Why is there awaken and enter? The Chinese don't explain these things. I hope that some of the others nationalities will explain this. Why does it have to be wu, ru, awaken to and enter? Huh? If you awaken, you have to enter. Yes, sir. Number 5.
Maybe is it because it's two different things? You can be awakened and decide not to enter. So
yeah, you say I'm awakened. I know about it. I understand it completely. But guess what? I want to do something else. I don't want to enter it. To enter is to live in the midst of it, to immerse yourself into it. Awaken is just, I'm aware. Yeah, right there. It's right there. Yes, I know it's right there. I recognize it's right there. But you not go into it. You say, okay, it's there. I know it's good enough. Let me go watch a soap opera. Go see a movie. James Bond, No Time to Die. Anyone seen it? Oh, the Korean Buddhists, they don't watch movies, clearly. Right? All right. 335, you should know that person will be born in the thus come one's family, up to and including will deeply enter the unobstructed state of a thus come one.
当知此人生如来家，乃至深入如来无碍境界。
Okay, 336. He concludes his thing. He says that this person with those conditions, who met those conditions, will definitely, you don't need to drop out the definitely, but I put the definitely in for emphasis for you, will definitely be born. Okay? Meaning that he can't help it. He's going to be born. He's entitled to it for real. Okay? In the thus come one's family. so that he can draw near the Buddha. To be born in the family is very important because you get to see the Buddha. Why is it important? You see the Buddha because Buddha teaches by doing, by being. So seeing the Buddha is being taught. He teaches you by being himself. So you're able to be near him and watch him daily. That's incredible blessings. Remember, our Mahayana is to draw near a good knowing advisor. To be born into the Dust Commons family is the ultimate of drawing near a good knowing advisor. Is that clear? There's nothing more precious than that as far as we are concerned. Okay? Up to and including will deeply enter the unobstructed state of a Daskam one. Okay? And meaning that you will experience the state of a Buddha. Okay? Abbreviation? Okay. Okay. So that is in 337 and explained as we'll follow in accord with the states of all Daskam ones, will be endowed with the Dharmas of all Bodhisattvas, will be secured in the state of the wisdom of all modes, will leave all worldly Dharmas far behind, not far behind, will bring forth all practices of the Daskam one, will penetrate the Dharma nature of all Bodhisattvas toward the self-mastery. Okay? Of a Buddha, his mind will have no doubts. He will dwell in the Dharma of no teacher. See, all these things. And that's abbreviated as will deeply enter the unobstructed state of a Daskam one. All right? Any questions? Of course you understand all this, right? Sure, no problem. Okay, we stop here. Next time, there's a Q&A, and then we stop.
So is this comparable to, say, reborn to the upper grades of Pure Land? Like, is it something concrete like this, or it's much more general?
Oh, I don't feel good. No. It's a lot more than that. And this is the state of a Buddha. And be born in the Pure Land is basically you go there to be with Amitabha Buddha and get to enjoy all the blessings of the Western Bliss Pure Land. Okay, and that is still pales in comparison to entering the Daskam one's family. Okay? This is very elite, very exclusive club called the Daskam one's family. It's just like they receive special training. The knowledge, the teachings, that's not available outside, to outsiders. There's such a thing. Okay? Because they have the blessings to receive those. To be born there and have the blessings to be exposed to every day and the blessings to be able to receive all those instructions. Okay? If you talk about stature, talk about class, this is it. This is the highest status you can ever achieve. Is it? All right, we stop here. Thank you, everyone. That's dual transference.